Twice in 1 month, I hear you say? But strictly speaking, the first one was with my wife. This is my once a month I normally do. For the second car camp of this month, I've taken you to the little village of Otford. Otford is another little village that I've often driven through, but I've never actually been to. We'll see in a minute what else there is in Otford, but just driving down there were some nice old looking buildings, so it'll be nice for a little walk. And probably what I'll do now is first check to make sure I can park here. Another thing I'm doing slightly different on this car camp is I haven't taken my stove with me. Now the reason for that is twofold really. One, it's so warm at the minute, the last thing you want to be doing is cooking in your car. It'll just get so hot and sweaty. Where I didn't use the 12-volt kettle when we went out for our car camp in Norfolk, I wanted to use it for this car camp. But just to be a bit more exciting, I thought, well, if I only use the kettle to make food, I mean, it's much like when you go to a hotel, and as long as you've got a kettle, you can make food. What I've been doing is, because you can power it via cigarette lighter, I've actually had it boiling away on my journey here. So now I'm here, it is actually boiled up and ready. It means it will be faster to boil it up when I get back. It's a kind of like a thermos cum kettle, so it'll be interesting to see how hot it stays when I go off now for an hour or so and go for a wander. So yeah, I've checked the sign, and what I've read on the internet was right. Basically, it doesn't say you can't park here overnight. Parking charges are between 8 AM and 6 PM. There's nothing there to say you can't park here overnight. So yeah, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have to pay, obviously, in the morning when I go for my run from 8 AM. But that's fine, that's no problem at all. And where I'm parked is right in the corner, and actually this is the village car park. You'll remember I've said in lots of videos now, I always end up parking in the village car park. Normally they're free. This is the first one I've had where you would have to pay in the morning, but it's a good size, it's a great little location. But in the meantime, I need to get the car sorted out first, so when I get back to the car later, all I've got to do is jump in. So I slightly lied. Otford is somewhere I have been to before, but it's somewhere I've run through. Basically, Otford is part of the Darrant Valley Path, and I recognised part of it just then as I was walking down the high street. But to be fair, where I am now is not the Darrant Valley Path. It is just lovely fields. We'll have a little wander down here for a bit. I've got hours till I've got to go back to the car yet. We're in no rush. So yeah, let's enjoy the views. This is definitely the kind of weather that you need when you go car camping. I mean, I finished work at 5 o'clock. We've still got blue skies and sun. And I think it's going to stay like this probably until about 8 o'clock at night. Even though it's so local and it's just down the road, I think this perfectly sums up what I always say about car camping, why it's so good. In that literally I've travelled, 15-20 minutes down the road, and I have this whole expanse of countryside. You can see all the woods and trees over there, and it's just lovely. So let's carry on exploring. This is turning into a super pleasant walk. Another interesting dilemma for tonight is going to be, after the last few months, I've always been banging on about how cold it might be, needing extra sleeping bags, extra blankets. Tonight, I think it's all going to be about how hot it is, and do I turn the fan on or not? Fantastic as this countryside is, I do need to head back to the town, I think. Okay, so the first test is to see how hot did the kettle stay in my absence. So I've been gone for a good, what, 2 hours? Yeah. It feels lukewarm on the outside, but on the inside, well, it's still quite hot, you know. That's not bad. I mean, it's not hot, thermos hot, but I'm going to whack this now back into the jackery, get this boiling again, and then I can make myself some food. So whilst the car camp with my wife was an absolute success in terms of us doing it and managing to both sleep in here. Now the issue that we had was, once we were both in the car, there was no room. What we need to sort out is, in effect, how to make my bed more movable and to improve the storage options. And once those two things are sorted, ultimately we'll be able to do this even more. So the car park at the minute is looking quite nice and quiet. It is actually the village car park again, and where I'm parked is literally right in the very far corner. What's quite handy is there's a couple of floodlights over there, so once again I've managed to do that thing where I park under lights. But I like doing that because if there is any light bleed from my blackouts, then that kind of hides that, it mitigates it, so it's perfect. The car park appears to be flat, so double bubble. As the kettle is starting to boil now, I think what I'll do is get my food out ready. I was definitely right to not take the stove tonight. It is so hot in here, it's unbelievable. Interestingly, having boiled the kettle already, it only used 16% of the jackery. So that is a little bit less than last time. It certainly was a lot faster. Now, because I haven't got the stove, I can make the couscous with the hot water, that's fine. But what I'm going to have with the couscous, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Corned beef. So yeah, couscous and corned beef. Although I'm not going to make you watch me open this and spoon it into the corned beef, so I'll let you off that much. Well, rather than get out the car, I'm just going to pull open the side flap to see what the car park's like. As you can see, completely dead. There's one car just over there, but my phone won't focus on it. There's one car in the corner. But other than that, everyone's gone. I'd say the electric kettle has been an absolute success, but I'd say a good tip is to boil it on the 12 volt when you're getting near to your destination, so that way when you actually want to use it in your power supply, then at least it doesn't use as much power. Controversially, I think I actually prefer using the kettle rather than a stove. It's a lot easier, to be honest. And I think on that note, it's time to go to bed. It's 11:30, so I'm just going to do a little bit more mucking around on my phone and then lights off. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, happy to say I slept very well last night. Only woke up a couple of times, which ain't too bad. I think I might have been on a very slight slope here, but not enough to cause me any problems. It was super quiet here. The only people I heard were, I think, some people going back to the one car, that car that was left at about 12 o'clock, and that was it. So other than that, no noise whatsoever, up until now, when you can hear the gardeners are here. But yeah, so the plan is get up, have a coffee, get rid of my rubbish for the bin, and then head out for a run. So significantly, I would say not cooking in the car and using the kettle only has made a significant difference with condensation. And in the spirit of not using a cooker, my breakfast this morning is, my breakfast this morning is a rather simple cashew nut protein bar. So yeah, that'll keep me going for my little run this morning. I tell you what as well, you can't moan about the parking charge. £1 for 3 hours. Come to see me. You can't have a micro drone. Hello. I'm being hoodwinked by horses. Send help. Send help. You're a bit too friendly, aren't you? You can let me out. No. Wait. Oh, no, not my tummy thing. Not my tummy, man. Wait, oi. No, stop. Getting a bit too friendly now. Trying to eat me. Ah, run away. Run away to safety. Now look at them all. Acting like nothing happened. Look, don't even care about me now. I feel so used right now. I feel let down. Well, this one wants to see me. It's got a right mop of hair on him. Look at this. It's got a full-on fringe going on. Look at you, mate. Let's comb your hair for you. There you go. Lovely parting. Well, that was a really nice run around Otford. I'm really glad I chose to come here. Actually, it was exactly as I hoped it would be. Really nice trails in all directions. I've got a better understanding now of where Otford sits in relation to lots of other runs that I do. But in terms of where I am sitting now, I am chilling on the village green basically. There's loads of people out. It's a really nice vibe here. And because I had a little bit of water left in my thermos and a bag of crisps, I thought I'd have a little mini picnic before I head off home. So with that in mind, I finished my thermos, I finished my crisps, and yeah, it's time to go home. So I hope you enjoyed this little car camp, and I will see you again next month. Take care.